All right. Well, hello, everybody. How you guys doing today?
Hello.
Hello, doing good.
Oh, before I forget, we should all smile, too, so I can take a picture. There we go. That's good. So, yeah, I'll clip that part so it doesn't look like mugshots like Chris pointed out. Good to see everybody. And, oh, wait. We got somebody else. I think I can fit 10. Can I?
I think so.
I think so.
Hey!
Hi.
Hey.
Hi.
Hey.
Yes. Okay. So we just got caught on Emerson, and we're just going to go ahead and have everybody talk about what they've been doing, what they've been up to. And why don't we start with you, Estefania?
Oh, nice. Well, hello, everyone. My name is Estefania Rodriguez, and I am a board game designer. I'm working on my first game, PopCats Fighter, which is about to launch sometime next year on Kickstarter. It's a card fighting game, basically inspired by like Mortal Kombat, retro arcade games, and stuff like that. And yeah, I also help run 2 playtesting groups on Discord. One of them is called Break My Game, and then the other one's called Seattle Playtest. And yeah, that's about everything I do. Game related, anyway.
Yes, you've been playtesting a lot too, right?
Yeah. I've been quite busy with those things.
Oh, nice. Very good. Well, it's good to have you with us. And how about you, Crystal?
Hello, everyone. I am Crystal Dax of the Board Game Blitz podcast and the Dice Towers YouTube channel. I host a live show on YouTube on the Dice Tower called Dice Tower Tonight every 2 weeks on Wednesday evenings at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern with Eric Summerer. We just had our last episode last night. It's really fun because it's an interactive live show where the chat gets to play a game with us. And then I do the Board Game Blitz podcast with Ambi Valdez every 2 weeks on Thursdays. Our next episode will come out next week. And then we also stream on the Board Game Blitz Twitch channel. We do board games, video games. Ambi does jigsaw puzzles. We do a lot of different content over on our Twitch channel, which is a lot of fun.
All right, very good. Well, it's good to see you again as well.
Good to see you too.
Amy and Maggie together, so you guys can talk about your own parts separately. And Maggie, we'll start with you.
I'm Maggie. I'm the themer half of our channel, ThinkerThemer, where we review games from 2 perspectives. I'm all about the theme and the story, and Amy's all about the mechanics. And that's most of what we do is really just reviews and awesome discussions with amazing people like what we're doing today.
Ah, yes. And Amy?
So I'm all about mechanics. I'm Maggie's fiance, so we're a couple in Australia, and we tend to do big box games mostly. We like heavy, dry Euros, and just excited to be here amongst all of these wonderful people today. Yes. And all of your podcasts are going to be on our drive from Melbourne to Queensland next week. So thank you in advance for keeping saving it all.
It's like the one time that I regret having a short podcast.
Yeah, we're like, no, 19 hours to go.
Yes, and if people don't know, they are our future friends because they are coming to us from tomorrow.
Yeah, that's right. It's Friday, like you said.
That's right. All right, and we have a very welcome guest with us tonight too. It's great to see you. We got Emerson Matsuuchi. How you been, Emerson?
Oh, hi. How you doing? It's good to see you again, Tim. I'm Emerson Matsuuchi. I'm a game designer as well. Recently, I've been working on 3 projects. One for Plan B, which might be another Century game.
Might be.
Working with IDW on the Metal Gear Solid game. Nice. So I've been hard at work on that one. And I'm also working on a project with Arcane Wonders as well. So working on three projects at the moment. I can't divulge too many of the details at the moment, but hopefully in the coming months we'll be able to announce some things.
Is the Arcane Wonders one anything that I might have played or no?
Did you play a heavy 4X Civilization game?
No.
Oh, but now I'm excited.
No, I want to see you publish the game that you taught me at Dice Tower West in February. That's all I want.
Oh yes, yes. Those are also in the works as well.
Okay.
All right, very good. Well, thanks for joining us, Emerson.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Hello, and we've got the hardest working man in board game content creation, the James Brown of it. We've got Ruel. Hello, Ruel.
Hi, Tim. Thanks for joining me. It always makes me laugh when you say that because I feel good. I will say it. Want to thank you again for having me on. I am Ruel Gaviola. You may have seen me somewhere on the internet. I do content creation in the board gaming space. I do Twitch streaming nearly every day with friends and or family at 7 p.m. Pacific on my Twitch channel. I am also one of the co-hosts on the 5x podcast. And I also, what else do I do? Oh my gosh, I'm getting a little mixed up here. I write. Thank you, Crystal. Thank you. Yeah, I write articles for I Slay the Dragon and also do some marketing copywriting for a couple of different companies. You may have also seen me on Renegade Game Studios videos and live playthroughs. And I also proudly serve on the committees for the American Tabletop Awards and the Tabletop Writers Guild. Thank you again for having me, Tim. And I will pass it on to my friend Chris, who's right next to me right here.
He is. But real quick question. I just want to, James, want to say hi to Crystal. And is that how you go? Do you go by Dax now, Crystal?
I mean, I go by literally whatever anyone wants to call me. I don't have a preference. And even people who refer to my previous last name, if you call me Pisano, I don't care. Like, anything's fine.
I still have you in my phone as Quibel, so.
Oh my gosh, you still have my maiden name.
That's way back.
Yeah. All right. Well, Chris. Hello, Chris. How you doing?
Hello, I'm doing good. I'm doing great. Not as good as Ruel. And, you know, in fact, Ruel, I was thinking next time we do one of these and Tim introduces you as the James Brown of board game, of the board game world, you should have one of your family members come out and like drape you in the cloak.
Oh, that's too perfect. Chris. Yeah, we're totally doing that.
All right, perfect.
It's gotta be timed.
Yeah.
So my name is Chris. I am primarily a podcaster on the Meeple Overboard podcast I do with my wife every Saturday because we didn't know that Saturdays were a bad day to release podcasts for most people. But the one listener who is a Domino's pizza delivery guy, he loves us. So, yeah, so primarily do that. I do a little sideshow called CNC Board Game Factory, in which my friend Cam and I are designing a board game, and it's going, and it's fun to bounce off ideas with someone and have this show to have to kind of responsibly do it with each other, and then so those are primarily the big things that I do.
Oh, good. Well, welcome again, Chris. It's always good to have you here. Chris has been here every night but one, so that's good. And then we have Jazz. Hello, Jazz.
How's it going, everyone? I am Jazz over at the Lobby of Hobbies. We're primarily a channel that's a podcast. We've actually started to branch out into YouTube. We've been kind of getting stuff set up in here to get some YouTube reviews and some content as well. And I'm right now with the wonderful and I would guess, Amy's, push to start doing some miniatures painting. So I'll probably be letting you guys know how that's going. But primarily, our idea here is we just want people to enter while we share the things that we love, our hobbies, so they can discover something new. We've kind of talked about everything, primarily board games, a little bit of video games. Our most recent podcast, we talked about our favorite top Christmas movies, which can be a very highly debatable topic. Die
Hard. There's only one.
Already strong opinions.
So we like to dabble with whatever type of hobby it is, and then we pretty much, like I said, we like to feature some kind of board game. Primarily, that's my love. So that's pretty much what we do. It's just about getting people who are just casually into things, sharing them with other people. So that's us at the Lobby Hobbies.
Nice, very good. Well, it's good to have you here, Jazz. And
Thanks
last but certainly not least, all the way from Detroit, we have
Motown. So my name is Dwayne Sherrill. I run a YouTube channel called Blackboard Gaming with my wife. Pretty much I talk about introducing my wife to board games, at the same time getting families to see that there are more board games that are out there. And like I said, it's just we've just been having a great time. She enjoys the board games. As I mentioned, with the pandemic, she's my audience, a captive audience, but an audience. And and we're just having fun. Like I said, just letting people know there's so many board games out there.
Yes, there are. Good. Well, it's good to have you here, Dwayne, as well. Thank you for joining us. Well, everybody, so just have I guess I can say what's going on. First thing, unfortunately, have some bad news. we officially have canceled Dice Tower West, which is coming up in March, but I don't think that's a surprise to anybody because I said a long time ago, I think Gen Con in August might be the first convention. Does anybody have a guess what they think might be the first one?
I mean, Gen Con.
I'm hoping.
Yeah. What's Gen Con? August of next year?
Yeah.
It would be nice, but I don't think until 2022 to really have full on.
Like, honestly, for me, I won't feel comfortable going until 2022, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, to also have to plan ahead of time, to plan the travel and booking the hotels and everything, and the logistics of like a larger convention, because maybe some smaller ones could happen in the second half of the year, but I have no idea.
Yeah, planning for those big ones, especially if you go as a vendor, you need like 6 months at least to have, who has to go and what you have to take and all that. So anything late next year still would mean that in a couple of months we would be planning. I, like you said too, like I don't know if I'm totally comfortable with that kind of planning yet.
Yeah.
Well, maybe that's good.
They won't be letting us out of the country, I don't think, until 2022 potentially. So.
Yeah, no international travel.
Yeah, so please don't have any cons until we can go.
Don't worry, I don't think we will.
Yeah.
I'm not living big.
You guys can't leave the country?
No.
Wow.
No, I think only if there's an absolute emergency, and even then it's very, very hard to be able to get.
Can people fly into Australia?
No.
Oh, wow.
No. Even Australians, like there's like a queue
to get
waiting list because they have to come into quarantine and all of that. It's very, highly monitored.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Well, then if everybody's waiting for 22, maybe then that means Dice Tower West in March of 22 may be the first one that everybody goes to. So
can't wait.
And hopefully we'll see you all there. Because let me see let me see. Emerson, Crystal, Ruel, Chris, Estefania, you were there, right?
Yeah.
So good. All right, and that's what's been going on, just to try to survive here in Vegas and trying to do videos on the channel. So one of the things I wanted to find out is what people have been playing lately. So what kind of new games have people been playing lately? Anybody like to start?
Well, I literally just got done streaming about 20 minutes ago. My wife and I played the new Unmatched Little Red Riding Hood versus Beowulf. I love Little Red Riding Hood. I think she may be my favorite character that I've played so far. So if anyone that doesn't know, Unmatched is a series of games from Restoration Games, and it's basically a 1v1 miniatures game. Very quick. I think it was Star Wars Epic Duels before, and they reskinned it and rethemed it. But I think it's such a fun little combat game. It's before we shut everything down here, it was one of my favorite filler games at game night because we could knock it out in like 15-20 minutes. And we just got done live streaming that. We really enjoy it, and I'm a big fan of Little Red Riding Hood.
Yeah, that one sounds interesting.
Does somebody have? I'm getting a little bit of feedback. I think it might be coming out of somebody's speakers or something. Just want to.
How's it now? Is that better?
Can you else hear that or no?
Yeah, we can hear it. Yeah.
I hear it. Now I don't hear Tim. Oh, there.
Yes.
Yeah, I think if you don't have headphones in, maybe if you can use the mute function when other people are talking, because I get that little bit of that feedback.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so if you're not using headphones, if you're not talking, put yourself on mute.
It's like a game of werewolf.
Who is it? I have a very sneaky headphones here.
Nice.
I'm not wearing my sneaky headphones right now, although I will admit my new bone conducting headphones are one of my favorite things.
Yeah, that's exactly what I have. Those are my new ones.
Cool.
I highly recommend for people who stream, Ruel, if you need headphones, because
absolutely,
at least for me, earbuds are uncomfortable because my ears are small, and then over-ear headphones get hot over a certain amount of time. Even if they are Bluetooth, and these ones, so they just sit on the outside of your head, and they're great.
Yeah,
nice. Are those wireless, Crystal?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And they
Yeah.
have a mic too. I have a mic, so I'm using the mic when I'm talking.
Okay, nice. I have a pair of AirPods, but those things always die on me. I don't know if I just have a bad pair or what, but okay. Could you drop a link in the private chat for me for that?
Yeah.
If you don't mind, or just
I will find a link to the ones that I bought.
Thank you.
Nice.
Great, another
they're
thing to
really
buy now for Christmas. Another
It's
purchase.
really, really good. It's a good investment.
Oh, you don't have to convince me. I will drop money on technology.
Maggie has so many headphones.
No problem. Got it.
Okay.
What have we been playing? I'll bring it back to what were we playing? We just started playing at Cooper Island, which we're still in the early stages, but I'm really enjoying it. So that's I don't know if any of you have played it.
No.
I have. I played it once at BGG last year, and it was a learning. Like we had to learn it and play it, so it was kind of long and a little bit difficult, because you guys, I'm sure, are aware. It's
a pretty hard game. Yeah.
It's tough. Yeah. Have you completed a whole game of it yet? What's your high score?
No, we haven't. We're about halfway through our first game. So we started last night thinking we could stay up, and then we were just like, oh god, falling asleep.
I'm still finding it going really quickly for some reason. I'm like, let's just finish, and he was like asleep on the table. Like, okay, fine. I guess we'll continue tomorrow.
Is that the one where you're traveling around an island, right?
Yeah.
And then you're building up okay, yeah, I have played that. It was good, but I remember it was long, and I think my brain hurt after that as well. But
trying to make it's like actually quite hard to do the objectives. It feels like, how am I ever going to get this many resources? But it's fun. Yeah.
And will you guys be doing a video on that too when you're done?
Yeah, eventually. Yeah, I think we need to get to know it a bit better. But other than that, we've been playing a lot of Bonfire, and that's been a lot of fun. And that's obviously the video we did last, which was Maggie trying to find some thematic thread, and me really
I really did go through some dark places with that. I kid you not. Like, I had to do some self-therapy to work my way back from the darkness and find some thread. There was a lot.
You did put some effort into that.
Yes, you did.
You really did.
That was hilarious to me.
It was like that meme, the calculating meme, where she's like, she got all the beautiful mind type, all the algorithms and stuff. Like, what is going on? Yeah, that was the experience.
You're welcome, Maggie.
What was the verdict on the game?
Oh, we really, really like it. Really like it. Yeah.
Yeah. Not for the theme, but the puzzle is kind of interesting and fun. Yeah, there's a lot of mechanics going on, which obviously Amy was all over. Yeah,
and it's very race oriented as well, which I also love. Just like competing to achieve public objectives and things like that first. So yeah, it's a good one.
Oh, great. Well, let me see. I played Barrage again. I love that game. If anybody's played, I love that.
Yeah,
game.
I love it.
So good, so good. I wish I could. I haven't been able to play it since I played it earlier this year, but that's your jam, huh, Tim? I can tell that's your
I really like Barrage.
Nice.
And what player count did you play it? Because we've only ever played a 2-player.
2 and 3, and. Yeah, that's a good question, Maggie, because I would probably say that is definitely a game you want the higher player count, because it's built for that, right? With the interaction and all the dams and stuff. So yeah, I think 4 is max, and I'd love to try it at 4.
With 2 players, do you like block off certain things or anything like that?
Well, they put an NPC out there, like
okay,
pre-built dams.
Okay.
That you can use your whatever you call it, the round thing. That anybody can use off of it to
right.
Conductor.
The conductor.
Yeah.
Conduit.
Yeah.
Yes.
Conduit. That's it. Yeah.
So
they're a bit.
Yeah. Sorry. Go, Amy.
So I was going to say that they're a bit static. Like because you're not like where they are at the beginning. There's no like rerouting of water that you weren't expecting like with other players. So that's why we're keen to play it with more.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually just got my copy in the mail from a friend probably about a week and a half ago. So I'm very interested in playing that one. Yes, nice. With the whole 3D board and everything. So I'm excited to put that together.
Oh, wow. James thinks it's the meanest Euro. And then his replacement dials. That's right, because the Kickstarter had that little thing in the bottom, so it made the dial wonky.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then I got to break open Glenmore Chronicles. Only played the first one because it's got like 8 little boxes, like the Harry Potter thing, so you can have different scenarios and stuff, which I think is fantastic. But that was a really good game. I really liked Glenmore, and it was rather quick too. So really did. And then last but not least, I know Amy and Maggie did a video on innovation, which is one of my favorite. Innovation is literally one of my favorite games. So I tried Flow of History for the first time. I don't know if anybody's played that card game, and it's very. You have, Chris?
Yeah, I have. Yeah. It's good. It's like a short kind of civilization themed game, right?
Yes. Yeah.
It has a very interesting bidding kind of, or like when you pay for a card, like other people have the opportunity to buy it from under you. Something really unique like that, right, Tim?
Yes, it does. And it reminded me a little bit of innovation too, because it's like a civilization. You're going through the eras. And you start out at like, I don't know, making fire, and you end up going up in space with a satellite or whatever. It's kind of cool.
Was that Tasty Minstrel Games that did that?
Yes. Yes.
Oh, okay. So I have played that one. Okay.
Yeah. What do you think of it, Emerson?
I enjoyed it. But it's been a while since I played it. So I only played it once too, but it was an enjoyable game.
Yeah. Yeah. And like Chris was saying, that thing where you can buy something from somebody, pay them. That's a really neat.
Well, it was the first time for the other two, and Paladins. It's a lot going on in that game. I definitely want to try it again, but I didn't do well the first time because I was just like, it's a lot of stuff you have to pay attention to. And it's very hard to figure out what you want your strategy to be, especially when it's your first time playing. Viscounts, I did enjoy Viscounts. I caught on to that really quick. So I would say Viscounts probably be the one I like the best out of the 3. I still love Architects, but of course there's player interaction in that one. Whereas Viscounts, you just go do what you got to do. But Paladins is not out of the running. I had to play it again, like maybe try it on solo mode. Another game I've been playing is Paleo. I picked up Paleo.
Okay.
And played 2 games of that, and I love it. I'm so interested in what the rest of the scenarios are going to be. I won the first. I did the first scenario, and I won that twice. And I just it feels like a streamlined Robinson Crusoe. And I like the win condition is you're creating your cave painting to let people know, hey, these people really existed. I like that about the game.
So you're playing solo?
Yeah, I'm just playing solo. And I just popped open my, what is it? Lost Ruins of Arnak. I want to see how that is.
I'm picking my copy up tomorrow.
That's one good thing. I am so interested in that because, I'm a big fan of the Indiana Jones. So, I'm like, okay, I'm going to enjoy this. And, me and my wife, we're at the last few episodes of My City. We got to revisit that and finish that up. But I'm teaching her viticulture.
Yeah,
she had never played because she keeps saying we've been playing all these abstract games. So I want to play something that's got some theme or thematics.
Give the woman a theme, please.
Yeah, I love themes. So actually, that's going to be our next video. Is we're going to talk about not like show people how to play viticulture because it's kind of like late to the game with that one, but to show how the game incorporates the theme, makes you feel like you're doing those things in there, like the rooster, getting up in the morning with the rooster and all that. Yep. She loved it, even though I beat her twice, but she enjoyed it because she figured it out, So that's pretty much. Oh, one more thing. I've been playing the Red Skull expansion for Marvel Champions. I'm like 3 games into that one, and I love Marvel Champions. That's pretty much one of my favorite cooperative games. So that's pretty much my rant of what I've been playing.
A lot of games.
Yeah.
Quite the lineup.
Yeah, those are some really good games. Yeah, I was interested in that Paleo too, That's been getting a lot of press. So is that Lost Ruins of Arnak. That's been getting a lot of
Yeah, I think for me, being a huge worker placement fan, the idea of incorporating that deck building is really something that I've always kind of want to try. But I have that one that I'm picking up tomorrow, as well as the pre-order for Dune Imperium. So it's kind of that, which is another deck building worker placement. So it's kind of like, am I going to keep both, or which one am I getting? But I had to get both of them.
Battle.
So, yeah. So I think for me, what I've been playing lately. I've gotten a lot of 2-player games. Right now I'm working on my first video that I kind of want to do regarding games is going to be 2-player games. My top 10 2-player, especially with the pandemic. A lot of people are just, with their spouse, significant other, or roommate. I kind of wanted to start hitting that. So I've going down my checklist. I think I own like maybe 20 or 30. I don't know, 20 to 25 like 2-player games. And I picked up a couple extra ones most recently, which Patchwork, I don't know how that wasn't in my collection. And while I love 2-player games, because that's primarily the player count that I'm playing everything in my collection at with my wife, I still lose at everything. Like my channel should be like, I teach, she wins. Like, because it's pretty much like everything. And most recently, my wife, asked me the question, like, why do you play games? I says, it's just because I like the camaraderie, just the fellowship. And I said, well, why do you play games? She goes, I play them to win. So,
Wow.
Love it.
So, but like that's pretty much, I've been playing that. And what I got a hold of was Mandala. Has anybody ever played that? The 2-player, and
No,
I don't know. It is really good. Like it's shooting up there. Like I'm starting to create my list, and I'll be honest. Before I started this, I wanted to play everything over again because sometimes if you haven't revisited a game, it just drops for you. At the top has always been Seven Wonders Duel for me. I just love that game. The way you're revealing cards and you play that mind that when do I reveal that card to my opponent? So, but I just want to see, does that stay at the top? Because there's some new games that I just recently got a hold of that are starting to like creep their way up. So when I revisit this, that's kind of what I've been playing. But outside of that, I recently played Scythe, and I talked about that on my most recent podcast, which was one that I played probably about 2 years ago, and it was getting all the buzz, and I was like, I don't know what I think about this. So I never played it again. I was able to get my hands on a review copy from Stonemaier Games and played it, and actually taught it to my brother, who is not a gamer at all. This was pretty much his first, modern board game that he played, and he loved it. He really enjoyed it, and so did I. Like I don't know. I guess I started getting into the theme, and I think back to Maggie and Amy's review of that, and I was like, yes, it is very thematic, and I think that's what gravitated me to the game. Of course, the presentation of the game, the artwork is phenomenal. So that's something when a game has table presence, it always just draws you in regardless. So, even if I don't thoroughly enjoy a game, I can appreciate the artwork. So I got that. And the last game that's not a 2-player game that I've been playing a lot of is Calico, which it's between that and so I have two local friends that are going to be coming. They pretty much work at home, so we're staying safe, but they're coming to my house on Saturday. So I'm waiting for that. And I have a list of all, like I have a stack of all my, right over here, of my 2020 releases, because I have to figure out what is the top game of 2020. Nice. And, so that's pretty much what I have lined up to play. So.
Oh, nice. But before anybody goes, real quick, I just want to show a couple of comments. So James said he's not a fan of Patchwork. And let me see.
Same.
Like Tim, we know you love it. Like, and it's a cute game.
Well, because it is. I mean, yes, I love it because it's a cute game. But yeah, how often do I pull it off the shelf, right? And then there's that.
This one right here, yeah.
Park is good.
Baron Park
is very good.
Yes, that's one of my favorite polyomino games.
Yeah.
Oh, you got to try New York Zoo.
I want to play that so bad.
That didn't draw me in, but I will have to play it. After seeing your review, and especially your wife loved the cutesiness of it, I've got to try that one.
her whimsical.
Yes.
And how about you, Emerson? As a game designer, what kind of games do you play when you're not working?
Unfortunately, they're all prototypes. But I have been playing Machikoro with my kids. Love Machikoro. That's the game that they request the most. That and Spyfall, and I just have a whole bunch of light family games that I've been playing. But other than that, it's all been prototypes. In fact, like not just my prototypes. I've been playtesting other people's prototypes as well.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't want to say much because I'm like, everything I play, prototypes of games coming out or being worked, because the playtesting groups that I run, I basically playtest like 15 hours a week. And it's not all my game, just like Emerson said. But I'm like, it's all prototypes.
It's part of the job.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
I haven't been playing any prototypes, so
Should I write them on napkins and send it to you?
You know, yes, Emerson, if you want to send me a prototype that I can somehow play by myself, then please, I will do it. I also am willing to play prototypes in, Tabletop Simulator or whatever as well. But no, I actually have been playing a lot of escape room board games lately, since I am gaming by myself, and those tend to lend themselves to solo play most of the time. I just recently played Box One, which is the Neil Patrick Harris. It is a solo-only escape room in a box, and you are told when you play this not to talk about it, except to recommend it to people. So that is all I'm going to say. That I highly recommend this, and it's cheap too. I think it's like $20 at Target. Like, pick this up. It is really fun.
Looks like a nice box.
The other one.
Did you say? I'm sorry, Chris. Did you say that's for one person?
Yes, it is a single player experience.
Oh wow!
And
Pretty big.
Was it difficult?
It's a ride-sized box. I will admit this is just the lid because.
Damn!
I know. This is how Rodney Smith does the box flip.
Yeah.
It's gotta be an empty box.
So empty.
I will neither confirm nor deny that I sometimes try that flip at home and it doesn't go well. I'm like, how does he do it?
Yeah, no, I think he does multiple takes is how he does that.
I think gravity just works differently in Canada.
Yeah.
You're in New York, Emerson, so you're close to that gravity well, right?
Yes, although I think he's in Prince Edward Island. I think it's like close to the Bermuda
We should be
Triangle.
turning it the other way in Australia. We're on the other side. So
Okay.
Right.
spin the other way.
Harder.
Yeah, spin the other way. Got it. Good idea.
And for those of you who are
scientific.
Star Wars fans, if you have not ordered the Star Wars Unlock box yet, I 100% will say get that. And Unlock is not my favorite of the escape room series overall. Usually Exit is my favorite, but the 3 Star Wars scenarios that come in the Star Wars Unlock are my favorite Unlock games, hands down. And so if you like escape room games and you like Star Wars at all, it is an easy buy, and it would be a really fun Christmas gift for someone as well.
Oh, that just hearing that, I'm on the internet right now ordering now. Thank you.
I literally, it's funny. I had kind of shied away from Unlock. It's not that I disliked them, but I just tended to like Exit more as a series. And from what I've learned and what I've been told now, Unlock has kind of gotten better over time, and Exit has kind of had some more misses over time in comparison. Like, I played my least favorite Exit game recently. The Stormy Flight was my least favorite Exit game, hands down. And again, I still love Exit. I'm not, whatever. But the Star Wars one, oh, so fun. So fun.
Even I want to play it. I don't even like Star Wars, but yeah, they're really selling it, Kristen.
So Ben's comment made a good point. Like, they utilize the app for the Star Wars Unlock more so than they have in the past. And it's not just like, oh, the app is here for you to type in a code. It's more than that. Again, I don't want to say anything specific because I don't want to spoil stuff, but they were really creative this time around, and it made for a really neat experience. And honestly, you just get to listen to Star Wars music the whole time you're playing, and that's delightful.
Why not?
Well, I'm sold. There he is.
Oh, it's funny because real quick, Crystal, you reminded me of when you say you played the kind of escape room. Has anybody done the adventure games by Tim's?
I have 2 of them, but I haven't played them yet.
Yeah, because my wife and I just tried the Volcanic Island. And again, they've stepped up because there was the Dungeon, the Monochrome Ink, and now the Volcanic Island. And those are fantastic. If you like Mansions of Madness, it's a really little mini one cut down where it's got the narration and you move around the maps and trying to solve puzzles. I think those are fantastic. For their price point, they're $20 and they're fantastic.
Chris, have you played those?
I played the Dungeon, and we played it with our 5-year-old daughter, and she loved it because I mean most of the games we play are like little Hobba games and cute little kids games and stuff. This is her first time experiencing something that's like a dungeon crawler essentially, and she would just in her bedroom like pretend imagination the dungeon and stuff like weeks. So it was really gripping to her.
You're a big fan of Phil Walker Harding, right? If I remember correctly. Yeah. So that's why I asked you specifically. I was like, I bet Chris has played at least one of these.
Did you play it with her with the narration, Chris?
Yeah, with the app, and so like the little, the journal entry guy reads things to you, blah blah blah, and you're like, ooh, and then you type in the code. The most, the worst is when you type in the code, it goes, no entry. Oh,
I actually have a question for the group that maybe you all can answer for me because it's something I've been struggling with. I actually have a backlog of a bunch of escape room games that I want and need to play. And I've been considering doing them on a live stream, like on my Twitch channel. And in the past, I've shied away from doing anything that contains spoilers on a live stream. Obviously, you can put up warnings and still let people come in or out, but I tend to not do that just because... But like, it seems like there are so many escape room games at this point that would that be content that you all think is worth doing? I think it would be more fun for me to play it on stream. And there would be people who are like, I'm clearly never going to play every exit game. So let's just watch Crystal play this one. What do you all think? I want your thoughts.
I just had this crazy idea. Sorry, I was going to say, why don't you do like the Brothers Murph and play every single escape room game you have at the same time?
So many rooms, so little time.
For those of you who don't know what Ruel is talking about, we have to give a shout out to the Brothers Murph. They played their entire board game collection in a week.
Yeah,
203 games, all played legitimately in a week. And they put a video out on their YouTube channel yesterday with a lot of time-lapse footage. Like, it's not like they cheated their way. You can see every single game on their table, and it is phenomenal. And just go watch that video and leave a comment and a like, because it is, and it blows my mind that they were able to do this.
Yeah, it was good.
I
think it was crazy. All like having I think they said like 18 roll and writes with them all at one time. They were playing them. That's how they started. 4 hours. That's crazy.
Yeah, that was one of their biggest regrets of the whole thing. They said that was the way to start.
Crystal, as far as playing the escape rooms, though, like, I think it'd be cool. Like, would you play the entire thing through, or would you just stream part of it? Like, are you thinking play all the way through? Because I did the Michelle and I and Lauren, we did the Scooby-Doo one, and we just played it to a certain point. So it was like basically like a taste of what it was like. And then we after like an hour, we said, okay, that's your hour of Scooby-Doo adventures. Now, if you're interested, go play it. But that might be one approach. I'm not sure what you're.
That's true. I think most of the ones I have are like exit and unlock games, so they tend to be around an hour anyway. Gotcha. I do have a couple of like the older unlock games though that I haven't played. I have Insert Coins in one of the Sherlock ones, and I feel like maybe streaming some of the older titles would be more okay. Like people have had their chance if they really wanted to play it, they probably did. Whereas like I have Cemetery of the Night and one of the new exit games, and I haven't played that yet. Maybe that's less good to stream.
Yeah.
All right. True. So Ben would like to play with you. And,
okay, Ben, we can definitely make that happen for real.
and a good point. Also, you just have to watch it. But the thing I saw, Aldi do 5-minute mystery on on a video like with people watching. And I think the problem might be, Crystal, though, is since you have too many people watching, like it may go in like 10 minutes. You might be done, right? Because if you've got 30 people who see all the clues and answers, it just might not be fun.
I mean, my chat is pretty good about, like, if I say, don't help me unless I ask for it, they tend to be pretty good about not, like...
So you're not going to include the audience?
No. I would be streaming. I would be playing it by myself and just streaming it, and, like, the chat could just watch. And then if I did get stuck, I could be like, okay, chat, what's the thing I'm not seeing here? And they could type up at that point.
I think I would love that, because sometimes it's like you don't really know the format, or for me it's obviously themes. Like, am I actually going to like this theme? You get like 2 lines of theme in the back of the box, but this way I get to have a little bit more of the flavor of like, ooh, what's the world? What's happening? What are we trying to achieve?
And but then also, you love spoilers.
I love spoilers too. I like. But this is why I watch the same movie a million times. It's like, I know, I like knowing that I'm going to be happy at the end and satisfied. So then I can relax into the journey and like into the ups and downs. It's not about the surprise. It's about the journey itself. But yeah. So I would love it. I would be on board with that.
Yeah. All right.
I'd agree. I think even like you said, having some of the older ones played, I think sometimes people are afraid to kind of give it a try. So if at least they see it played, I might be interested in checking this out. Let me check some of the new ones, because there's, like you said, there's so many of them out there that I'm pretty sure they'll find one that they like, or
like
especially
if it accidentally gets spoiled for them, like they click on by mistake. It's not like that's their only option.
Yeah.
However, with the exit games, for anybody who's played them, that you might tip like a really big thing that some of them have in common. I won't say any more, but I think you guys know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Because,
I think they've done a pretty good job with the exit games, though, of like, even if you know some of the similarities between the interesting twists in those games, they've done a good job of kind of flipping the script a few times. Like there were moments where I'm like, oh, I know what they're gonna do, and then it's something completely different. So I do agree that you could kind of, that first moment in an exit game where you realize what's possible is a really fun moment. But they've done a good job of keeping surprises in those boxes, I think.
I haven't tried any of the escape games. I mean, I tried once, and I was just kind of like watching the other people figuring it out, and I'm like, I think it was one of the harder ones, though. I said I would be interested, but yeah, I just haven't tried it at any time lately.
Yeah, the exits are hard. To me and my wife, we just suck, whether it's unlock or exits or whatever. But the exits are hard.
So right now I'm actually working on making an escape room because it's going to be an escape room in a package, and so my wife and I are very involved with the teenagers at our church, and so they're tired of playing the same 3 games on Zoom, because we usually have like weekly activities and stuff with them. And so, they've played a million games of Among Us, and I'm sure that they could still play it, but I wanted to do something big, because this is kind of an announcement, but my wife and I are actually going to be moving from Las Vegas.
Oh, yes. And, can we know why?
Yeah, I'll tell in just a second.
Okay.
I thought it was just like clapping that he was leaving Tim.
Nice knowing you.
I'll tell in a second, just to keep Tim hanging, and just to, because I want to talk about the escape room for a second. So what I've been doing is, because we're moving, this is kind of going to be like our big farewell. Because a year ago, we designed like a 3 mini escape room kind of a rotation that we did with the teenagers at our church, and they loved it. And then it ended with a game that I never played before. Someone recommended, was called Prison Break or something like that. So if you have a big gym-sized room, or it's like a big area, you have someone stand up at top of like a ladder with a flashlight, and you just shine it back and forth, and you set up a bunch of tables and obstacles and let the kids try and run up without getting tagged by the flashlight, basically. So that was like super fun a year ago, and so I wanted to do something nice for the kids before we leave. Before we leave here at the start of January, and so I'm trying to design an escape room in a Manila envelope, and it's just going to have a bunch of and they're going to be broken into teams on a Zoom call or something, and they're going to try and we're going to deliver a packet to each house so that they can do it social distance and stuff, and I'm so grateful for having played escapes and unlocks and stuff because these kids don't know. I'm just like, whoop, But yeah. So Tim wants to know the news of why we're moving.
Yes.
Because this is not something that we normally do. We're always the people that stay. We've had tons of friends that have moved to lots of fun, exciting places, and I'm just the boring accountant. So, to tell this story in a strange way, I'm going to talk about the games I played recently.
More suspense.
So, I got to try the game Dwellings of Eldervale, which I think Kickstarter's. I didn't back it, right? I played my first board game with people that don't reside inside of this house for the first time in months. I mean, 8+ months or so. And those people included Roy Cannaday, Mike DeLisio, and Z Garcia, because they flew me out to Florida to set up for the fact that I'm going to be working full-time with the Dice Tower.
Oh, that's amazing! Congratulations!
Awesome.
Didn't tell us that bit. That's exciting.
Well deserved, friend.
Thank you. I mean, well,
so cool.
Obviously you didn't apply, Ruel.
Hook a brother up, Chris. Come on now.
Look, I'll pay it. That was worth the tease.
That was,
that was worth the
That's awesome, Chris.
Oh, that's incredible.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks, everyone.
Yeah, it was awesome. Yay!
Crystal, are you moving at the start of the year or?
Yeah, so January 5th, we'll be packed up and driving across the country with a 5-year-old. So any advice on that would be appreciated.
Pay attention to the rest stops.
Yeah.
I'll do it.
Pay attention to the rest stops. If it says next rest stop 47 miles, pay attention to that.
Good advice. Good advice.
Yeah, we've never done. I mean, the longest road trip we've done has been like 8 hours or so. So this is going to be like 40, and it's going to be it's going to be interesting. So, but I mean, for this job to work so I'll be working as a full-time video editor and doing a little bit of on-camera stuff, but a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff at first, especially. So I'm really excited about it. Really excited.
That's so cool. That's
That's
so
gonna be cool.
That's the dream.
Don't forget the little people, the ones you left behind.
Make sure you give Tom lots of grief every day, please.
Special delivery from Crystal Dax. Yeah, that's what.
Yes, tell him
I wonder if, when the con starts going again, if you'll be able to come to Dice Tower West, just kind of hang around part of the crew thing. That'd be cool.
I'm sure he would be.
Yeah.
They tend to bring the whole Florida crew out for all of the Dice Tower events.
Yeah.
That's
So,
really
I mean, and that's one of the great things too, is that even though all of our family and stuff is here, we have a guaranteed once a year, flight out to Vegas.
Yes.
There you go.
Starting 2022.
Starting 2022. Yeah, probably. Right?
Well, congratulations.
Yeah.
Well deserved.
Thank
Full-time
you.
board games. Dream.
Gotta love it.
Dream
Yeah.
indeed. Yeah. That's awesome.
So any other new games people have been playing and stuff? Because if not,
Dwellings of Eldervale was pretty good, by the way.
yeah, I was going to ask you how you got it, but now since you said you played out there with them, I can understand it because I kickstarted it and I didn't get it yet. So. All right, so who wants to go first with? Does anybody have their top? Who wants to go first with their top 3 for 2020?
Oh, you get me.
So
All
tough.
right, you know what? I'm going to nominate somebody. How about that? All right, Maggie, you're on mute. I'm going to nominate you.
Oh.
From 3 to 1.
We'll
I'm
have
gonna
to
say
pass it
mine.
around. Everybody has to pick the next person who has to say their
Oh,
top.
okay, yeah.
Yeah, there you go, Maggie. All right.
My number 3 would be Tekenyu, the Obelisk of the Sun. I really enjoyed that this year. My number 2 would be Cafe, the little card game where you're kind of covering little areas and you're working your way
number
from
2.
being through to. Yeah, that's my number 2. And my number 1 is Obsession, because I was genuinely obsessed and still am with that game. It's like a themer's dream come true. So
Nice.
yeah. All right, I will nominate Crystal, actually.
Wait,
So you
hold
can
on real quick.
Oh, yeah, there's more. Yeah.
Obsession came out this year?
I thought so. Oh, it didn't come out
No.
this year.
We just got it this year. We got it in the second Kickstarter.
Oh,
so,
boy.
but we did play with all the expansions. So they were 20.
So upstairs, downstairs expansion, I will add it to it to make it this year's. Yeah.
And for the record, it's hard to follow some board game releases anyway because they'll release at Essen and then they get wide distribution or they get US distribution in the following year.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
since you passed it over to me, I think at least one of my games falls into that bucket and definitely one of them. So I am cheating and I'm going to say that my number 3 is a tie. My number 3 is a tie between Sovereign Skies and Nova Luna, which Nova Luna technically was 2019 but got US distribution in 2020.
Right.
My number 2 is The Crew, which is another 2019 but got US distribution in 2020.
And then that to us.
Yeah. And then my number 1 easily is Forgotten Waters.
Yes.
I used to say that I hated pirate-themed board games. Like, I legitimately shied away from pirate-themed board games, and Forgotten Waters blew me out of the water. It's so good.
Yeah, I heard that app. It's fantastic.
Nice.
So I'm going to pass it over to Emerson.
Oh. This is gonna be a little
Prototype
tough.
3, prototype 2, prototype 1.
Yeah.
This is gonna be sad, but I don't think I've actually played any 2020 releases.
Only 2024 releases.
That's right.
Well, the last time I actually played new games, or relatively new games, was actually at Dice Tower West. That was the last convention I went to. And that was the last place I got any exposure to any new releases. But I don't think there was any 2020 releases there. I think that was some of the hot stuff that came out of Essen the year before.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
So I'm trying to think about what are the most recent games that I played. I don't think I played a 2020 game.
I'm the same boat.
Well, are there any 2020 games that you know of that you're really interested in trying?
Well, I played Forgotten Waters, but that was when it was a prototype.
Okay.
So I played the 2020 releases while they were prototypes back in 2019, most likely. But yeah, I don't think I played any 2020 games, so I'm sorry to be a bummer here.
No, not at all. Not at all.
So I'll still need to nominate someone, right? Well, I'm going to nominate Chris over there.
All right. So my number 3, this is the one I'm least sure of because there's so many good ones. But well, I mean, there's at least 6 games I like this year. But I think my number 3 is actually Meeple Land by Blue Orange Games, a little theme park thing, very cute. My number 2, though we're not done with the entire thing, is Pandemic Legacy Season 0. We just finished April, so 4 games into it, and it's really good. It's really, really good. And then my number 1, I'm gonna take a page out of Crystal's playbook and go with The Crew, because that was the game that got us through when everything was just going wrong this year, and and we just weren't used to the fact that everything's wrong. Now we're peachy. Everything's terrible. All right.
You got this.
Well, and The Crew is now on Board Game Arena, which makes it way more accessible for people to play online, which is awesome.
Yes. Yeah, it's incredible.
Chris, how many other people do you know got through it all like you and Wendy did?
I'm not sure. I mean, I know of a few people, but Tim, have you gotten all the way through it yet?
Oh no, not even close. I think 26 or 28 was the highest I got to.
Okay.
Yeah, but no, getting through all 50, that's quite an accomplishment itself. That's huge.
Like I said, that was the game that got Wendy and I through a lot of the just bad emotional place that we were in for a while. We said, let's play a game. And we look at, all these big, heavy games in our collection. We go, nah. And so we just kept dealing out Hands of the Crew. And so, yeah, we played through that thing in about a little less than a month, I think.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
And they're coming out with more, so we get more.
Oh, Grant, he beat all 50. He got it in.
Oh, wow.
Nice job, Grant.
All right, who are you nominating, Chris?
I am going to nominate Jazz.
All right. I'm going to say that I know this list is going to change come Saturday because all my big releases I haven't played yet, like Dwellings of Eldervale, to Kenyu, to Wantansuyu. Those ones, like my big worker placement games, I haven't played. But I have played some good games. Like I'm gonna cheat like Crystal, and I have like two that are kind of like tied at my number 3, and that's got to be Curious Cargo, the 2-player game from Capstone Games. Very good, little thinky there, but it works very quick, which is I like. The other one is Chai, which was delivered earlier this year. It's just a beautiful game on the table. It's very easy for anyone to get to the table, and my wife absolutely adores the game. The second one's probably going to be Calico. And that was one that, when I looked at the box, like I'm not a cat person. I hate cats, to be honest with you. I'm allergic to them. But it was one of those that it's one of those that, like, I'm a dog person, but the buzz that game was getting, I was like, this is worth a check. And if not, I can gift it to someone, but it is really good. And then my number 1, which I have not yet played my copy, but I played a lot of it at PAX Unplugged last year, which was a pre-released copy, which is Honey Buzz. That game is ridiculously good. It is
so cute, iconic.
Yeah,
component.
It's so good. Like it's one of those that if someone is really into puzzly type games and they don't really like worker placement at all, or they never even tried worker placement, this is one of those that you can get someone who's an abstract gamer into the worker placement genre. And that's what I've been liking about the games that I've been seeing coming out this year, is that they're incorporating those two different mechanics that you see that are not normally joined together into games, which is that Honey Buzz. It might stay up in this top 3 after this weekend, but it's really good. So I'm gonna nominate Dwayne.
All right, Dwayne, real quick. I'm sorry, Dwayne, before you go, I just wanted to go ahead and bring up a couple. So here was Paul's for his.
I've heard good stuff about Beyond the Sun. I hear it's basically just like a huge tech tree that you have to navigate. And that sounds really interesting to me.
And here is Tommy's.
Probably
Super Skill Pinball. I only played it when it was still in development, when Jeff was still working on it, but it is so fun.
And then Ben just made this comment about Honey Buzz.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. All right. Sorry about that. Go ahead.
That's okay. So this was kind of hard for me because it's some games that I've only played once that I thought was amazing, like Wantansuyu, and I haven't played Lost Ruins of Arnak yet. I just opened it up and like, oh, I'm gonna love this. But so my number 3 will be Fort. I love Fort. I just thought that was a great deck builder. But then I love the theme, like if you don't play with that friend and that friend goes out into the yard, and then that friend can be wooed over to the other yard with pizza and toys and stuff like that. And it was just like deceptively thinky, Now my number 2 is like with Crystal, Forgotten Waters. I love Forgotten Waters. I love pirate games. I love pirates. My wife, she's like, pirates are the carjackers of the sea.
He's not wrong.
You know?
I mean, maybe carjackers are the pirates of the land.
Hey, yes.
You know, so I love Pirates, and Forgotten Water really immerses you with the storytelling, and I love that game. But my number one will be Calico. Calico is just cute, beautiful. It makes your head hurt. I love the passion they put into creating that game, especially with giving backstories to all the cats. You know, it just really shows that they really put their all into this game, you know. So Calico will be my number one right now.
Nice.
Now, let's see. Who do I nominate? Estefania.
Thank you. Just like Emerson, I haven't played a lot of releases from this year, except for Tidal Blades, which I played, but I played the prototype a few times in 2018 and 19, so that ish counts. Then the other one I played, which I did play this year, and I guess it did come out this year, The Search for Planet X.
Yeah, that's a great one. Yeah.
Yeah.
I played that as a prototype.
That was really good. I played twice. I didn't win either one, I should say, but it's still a lot of fun. Just the aspect of like searching and just the theme of it, I just really enjoyed it. And then I'm trying to think of something else that I did play Fort as well, which was really, really good. But something that I played this year that I personally liked a lot, but I think it came out 18 or 17. It was Herbaceous. I know it's older release, but that's one of the new ones that I finally got to play this year, and I was like, oh my god, it's so good.
It lives in my quiver. I will never take it out. I love it so much.
Yeah, it's I want to play the Sprouts expansion thing, so I hopefully sometime next year I'll get to play that. But
well, you can come over to my house and play with me because I own the dice game and the card game. So.
Oh my god, yeah, that's awesome. We'll have to settle that.
Yes.
I don't think you're too far.
No, you live pretty close to me. You were actually really close to my old house, but I didn't move very far, so we're still really near each other.
You're still over there.
Yeah.
Nice. We'll have to settle that later. And now I will nominate Amy.
Oh, hello. I was just going to say that I didn't realize you were in Vegas as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
amazing.
4 of us
Everybody's in
in
Vegas.
here that are in Vegas.
Yeah, we're pretty close.
That's true. But Chris is going to be losing his Vegas card soon. So.
Aha! We're taking it.
Sorry.
Trading it in for Florida.
However, out of all 4 of us, Chris is actually born here. So
that is true.
Oh, I
Yeah.
didn't know that.
I will carry that with me to my dying day, good or bad.
You guys know I grew up in Las Vegas. So
Yes, Emerson did grow up in Las Vegas, so he gets that one too.
Nice.
We love Vegas.
Yeah.
Emerson still has a brother here, right?
Yeah. Last time I went to Dice Star West, I got to visit my brother, so that was very cool. Yeah.
Nice.
So many connections with the gambling in Vegas.
Do you know, we have been to Vegas 10 times from Australia. So
Wow.
that's a lot. That's how much we love Vegas.
How many hours is that?
Okay, so I'm going to tell you guys a little secret about Maggie and Amy. First of all, I love them. They've been to Meeple. That's how I met them, is the first time, and they've been a couple times. But I bet you out of the 10 times they've been to Vegas, they've seen Mariah Carey 11 times.
That's amazing.
Nice.
Yeah. That's a bit of a revelation about me. I'm a big fan, and Maggie is a patient woman. So
You're not a fan, Maggie?
I enjoy Mariah, and I lucky because there's a lot of it in my life.
I was going to say she tolerates, but I don't think she would normally follow her around Australia twice, go to Vegas every time she's on. So
oh, it's you, Amy. Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Okay, fun fact. Thanks for sharing, Tim.
Wait, don't worry. I've seen Weird Al Yankovic in concert more times than that. So
wow,
you're
really?
Oh, yeah.
That is awesome. Wait, does he still do concerts?
Yes, he does.
Oh,
He does?
the-
Yes, he does.
Okay, so
Yes.
this is not like, yes, I'm a fan, but I tell you, regardless of whether you are like a Weird Al Yankovic fan or not, he puts on one of the best live shows you will ever see. Like,
I believe it.
hands down. 2 tours ago, he did a tour called No Strings Attached, where he toured and performed with full orchestras. He did his music with full orchestras, and it was the coolest thing I've ever seen.
That's awesome.
That is awesome. I actually would like to go and see that.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah, but when we are in Vegas, we do. Sorry, Tim.
I was going to say real quick before you go, Amy, just wanted to show Ben put up his top 3: Calico, Pinball, and Santa Monica.
Yes.
Santa Monica's
I
good.
haven't played
So
it
good.
yet.
Sorry,
Santa
Amy.
Monica's really good.
Santa Monica would get my vote for one of the best artwork, I think.
Absolutely.
Like, I just
It is beautiful,
so
yeah.
beautiful, yeah, for sure. But my actual top 3 is a total mess, and I have to apologize. I'm just staring at it going, I can't rank these games. I don't know. So I'm just going to talk about all of them. So like number 3, I've got Tekenyu, which we absolutely adore, but that obelisk and the, changing the actions for the die and everything, brilliant, love it. The other one is Bonfire, which is kind of snuck in kind of last minute in 2020, and I'm really enjoying that puzzle. And Nidavellir would be my other third place that I can't decide between, which is a really quick little kind of, for me, it's kind of like Splendor level, but it's probably a bit more meaty for a gamer. So it's kind of like that nice midweight. You can have it on the table, play a few games really quickly. Really enjoying that. And I've just purchased the expansion, which is about to be released. And then my number 2 would be a bit. Cat. Yeah, what's your top 3?
I think 10 Heroes.
He's saying he likes Calico.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I think that they're mad that we haven't all put Calico on our list.
Right.
Yeah.
He's wondering,
I'm surprised,
can he be in
Amy,
her
that you didn't say
expansion?
Calico.
Oh no,
Amy, you love Calico.
Wait. That was my number 3. There were 3 at 3.
Oh,
You all were making fun of me for cheating. I'm just
I'm totally cheating. I'm so cheating. But my number
Well,
2.
Amy can have my 3, so there you go.
Okay,
there you go.
There you go. Share it.
My number 2 would be, and this is controversial because it's PAX Premier 2nd edition, which technically I think is 2019, but we had it delivered Kickstarter 2020, and it just opened my eyes up to a completely different style of mechanic with a shifting alliances and like a highly tactical game as opposed to a highly strategic game. So absolutely adore that and can't wait to play more and more and more of it. And then my number 1 is Calico. There you go, Maggie. So,
Awesome.
we tend to go. Yeah, we tend to go heavy games. I'm also allergic to cats, Jazz.
Yeah.
And yeah, so the theme didn't really do it for me, but that puzzle is just absolutely brilliant. I will never say no to a game of Calico ever.
Yeah.
I've got to play Calico. Still haven't tried it.
So
It's
good.
good. It's
Calico
good.
is so good.
Who are you going to nominate?
How about you, Tim?
Am I the last one?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, okay.
Ruel as well? Yeah,
Ruel.
Ruel as well.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I'm doing real. Okay, yeah.
Go ahead.
That's what I thought. Yeah. Okay. So, but real quick, I don't want to forget this question. So everybody, where'd it go? Here it is. Ben asked this question. So when Ruel and I are done, let's try to think about this. Okay. I just didn't want to forget it. For Ben's question. So I, like Emerson and Estefania, haven't had a chance. How do you guys get all these games? That's because you're like big reviewers and people send you games and you get them. I don't know how you guys get games because I don't get games. I don't get like these new ones. So the only 2 I've actually played are Isle of Cats and The Crew. And I actually played Tekenyu, but I'm not as hot on it as you guys. I didn't like that one. I'll probably have to give it another try. So I'm only really have one that I'm really looking forward to. Probably the game I'm most excited about is Hallertau by Uwe Rosenberg. And it's supposed to be a big box game like Caverna. I've watched a couple videos, and it looks typical Uwe Rosenberg, like you would definitely know it's by him. And so I'm just real excited. And that's supposed to be coming out. I mean, it's already out. A lot of people have it. But I think the official release might be in early of 21. So I'm definitely looking forward to that.
Yeah, I'm trying to get it to you, Tim. I'm all over that like a rash, trying to find a copy.
What's the name of it?
Hallertau. Hallertau.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm gonna have to look it up.
Okay, and I nominate Ruel.
Okay, so this was really, really tough for me. I have a top 3, but then I have like 15 honorable mentions.
Yeah.
It gets worse the later we go.
Right? A couple of ones I wanted to touch on were, I think Warp's Edge is one of my favorite games this year. It was a solo game from Renegade. It was outstanding. It's a bag building solo game, sci-fi. It's got like a little narrative story that you can do with it as well, which I think is fantastic. The other, I really enjoyed Rap Gods. Again, theme wise, nothing else touches it. There's nothing else.
It's so good.
Thank you. Yes, Jazz. Absolutely. It's so good. And I was really surprised. I wasn't sure how it would work, a hip hop game. It totally works. And I backed Hoop Gods the other recently too. So Omari Kill, he's just killing it. So these are just another one real quick. Abandon All Artichokes. I think that's going to be like an evergreen for Game Right. I think it's just a wonderful take on deck building, but it's super easy and it's one of those. It'll be the Sushi Go of deck building. I think it's another wonderful game. I'm not even going to go through the rest. Top 3. I'm deciding right now. Let's say one of them will be Santa Monica.
Santa Monica is so good.
Right? Thank you, Dwayne. The art is beautiful. I think they nailed the art, the theme. Like, I'm a born and bred Southern Californian. Mellow, chill. They did the art and the gameplay is perfect. I'm going to go with The Crowd. I also think Calico has been absolutely fantastic. I did not expect it to be as puzzly as it was, and that's why I really dig it. And I also liked Fort. Again, theme married to mechanics, right? We got ThinkerThemer. We've got amazing theme in Fort, and then you get the really cool take on deck building as well. That's a lot different. And I actually played the original SPQF. I didn't really care for it, but then when they cleaned it up and did everything, they really fixed it basically into Fort, and I loved it. Okay, one more I'm going to mention. Sorry. One of the best games, and this one, I don't know. I don't like social deduction. It's probably my least favorite mechanism. I'm not a big social deduction fan, but the Search for Planet X did everything right. Again, it's the theme of like you're a scientist and you're trying to find Planet X. I'm like, whatever. This probably isn't for me. I totally got into it, and I think it's just a really smart, clever game. So
that's deduction. That's not really social deduction, right?
That's you're right. So maybe I don't like the social. I don't like to be social. Apparently, I just like the deduction part. I also have to shout out My City for Legacy game. I'm a big Knizia fan, and for when I heard he was doing a Legacy game, I was like, how is he going to do this? And he totally took tile placement and the polyominoes thing and made it happen. Just amazing game. I love it. And okay, one more I'll talk about real quick. I got to say this one because I think in this day and age with the pandemic and everything, we're all staying home playing games. Monstrosity is a fantastic game to play over Zoom or Skype. It's a drawing game from Eric Slauson. I think it's coming out maybe tomorrow, I think is the official date. But for a drawing game, it's a lot of fun and it's wacky. And I actually think it's sort of like Telestrations, where if you don't know how to draw, it's a funner game. It's way much more fun if you don't know how to draw. That's why I have so much fun with it, because I cannot draw. So
I've actually heard that it bears some similarities to the older game Duplic, which I just recently finally got a copy of. I've been desperately looking for this for 2 years, and people have said that Monstrosity bears some similarities to this one.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I haven't played that one, but yeah.
We should play this on stream together, Ruel. You will die laughing. It's so fun.
Yeah. Let's do it, Crystal. Count me in. I'm in. Yes.
Actually, who does Monstrosity?
Deepwater Games.
Deepwater. Okay, I've played the prototype of that one.
Yes, yeah.
Deepwater has been this year. Like
Deepwater is, yeah, they are bringing it big time, right?
they and they also picked up. It hasn't shipped yet, but they picked up the second edition of Starving Artists from Kickstarter, which I backed the original Kickstarter for Starving Artists forever ago, and I'm so glad that Deepwater picked that up because it's a really fun game.
Nice.
Yeah, they're also the ones who put out Hannah Makoji too, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah,
Yes,
that's one of
so
your
good.
favorites, Tim, right? That
It
game
is.
is
Yeah.
fantastic. Yes.
That's really good.
The only other game that I wanted to mention that I forgot earlier, but only because I haven't played it physically in front of me yet, but I got to play it. I did a stream for CGE during BGG at home, and I got to play kind of co-op tandem over camera the new solo game Under Falling Skies, which just is coming out like right now. And I'm not much of a like solo board gamer. Like I like the escape room games and things like that solo, but Under Falling Skies is so much fun. I cannot wait to get a copy of it, and I highly recommend people check that out because I was really impressed. It's a solo campaign game, and it's really neat.
I've heard nothing but good things about that. I'm really fired up to try that one as well. I got to shout out one more thing. Sorry.
Just one more.
Just one more.
Just three more.
I've got this whole list to go through. The Viscounts of the West Kingdom. I have the physical copy, but I have not been able to play it yet. But I did play it on Tabletop Simulator, and I really enjoyed it for what it was. I'm so not a Tabletop Simulator guy. I was like flipping cards and tossing bits everywhere. But just that whole run, is it a rondelle? The mechanism in Viscounts. I really enjoyed it, and I love that whole series. Shem Phillips, I think, is doing outstanding things in games these days, and that's another one of my favorites. I've got, I'm just going to shut up now. Thank you for bearing with us.
So I just want to show a couple of comments. So Paul says he needs Search for Planet X. That would be his number one. Ben likes the Duplex as well.
Let's go to fact machines. Now I
And,
guess.
Now here's something interesting. Whoops, where is it? Oh, Sean said about fantastic factories.
Ooh, yeah.
Now, okay, you guys have played, and I think we've talked about this before. I don't know that. I know I would. What do you call it? Have a panic attack. I wouldn't like that because I don't like roll and write games, or I don't like games where you're doing your own thing. And apparently, in that game, you kind of are doing your own thing, and I just do not like playing games like that.
Fantastic Factories.
Yeah,
that's it's not a roll and write. It's an engine building game, and actually, I think Crystal, you brought this to me at Dice Tower West.
No, but I mean like a roll and write where you're kind of doing your own, like
Okay.
it's kind of, like you don't know what
Playing by yourself.
Yeah, like you don't really know.
Yeah.
What sort of.
I mean, there's some like I would say there's
solitaire.
like indirect player action in that game because you're drawing cards from the market and also I forget what they're called, but the player abilities or whatever.
Contractor.
and
Contractors. Thank you.
the
I
new
think it's what it's called.
and the new expansion increases interactivity, I think.
Yep, it does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, it definitely does.
But I can see why you call it a roll and write, though. It's got some similarities to a roll and write. Everyone's rolling their own set of dice.
True. Oh, that's right. Yeah.
I think that's why I like it so much. Maybe I'm the opposite of Tim. I really like multiplayer solitaire games. Like, I'm not going to bother your stuff.
Yep.
You're not
I'm
going
the same. I love
it. I'm the same way,
Absolutely.
and I love it because of that. Because I like whenever we play games, when everyone kind of has to do their own thing. I'm like, mind your own business. I'm doing my own thing. Like, so I like never pay attention to anyone else. I'm just like my own little thing, and I'm like, did I win again? Ah, well, never mind.
Will you stop touching me? Stop touching me.
I want to make sure you know the difference of what I'm talking about. Like, I like games like that too, like say Agricola, or games where you have your own thing and there's really no player interactions, like a solitaire game. The only interaction you have is if somebody took your spot. I'm talking about games where like Ganshan Clever or Welcome To, where somebody on the other, you literally have no idea what they're doing, and people make mistakes. I make mistakes, right? So I just don't like that feeling where like you've got 20 points and they've got like 300, and you're like, really? Like, I don't know. I get uncomfortable.
It's one of our biggest fights usually, because like I love multiplayer solitaire, and Amy hates that. Like she'll often be like, "Just look at what I'm doing," and I'm like, I have
Maggie,
to concentrate on what I'm doing. Yeah,
Watch what I'm doing, Maggie.
Pay attention, clever though. Like how do you marry those two, Amy?
I will say that when I play those games, especially like in games where I think I'm going to mess it up, like if there's a lot of math or things like that, I will sometimes talk my turn out loud. Like even if not everyone is paying attention, I'll be like, okay, so I'm gonna grab that die and put it here, and I'm gonna add my whatever bonus to this thing. And sometimes when I'm doing heavy math, if somebody else is already done with their stuff, I'll be like, hey, can you just check me on this while I do it? So maybe that would be something for you, Tim, to like get other people into, I don't know, that kind of mindset. Because it depends on what style of player you are. But for me, I know that I unintentionally cheat sometimes when, like I make a mistake, I forget about a thing, and I'm sure everyone does. Like that's not unique, but I don't want to unintentionally cheat. So if I can check myself or have others check me, I'll do that because it's not fun to win via accidental cheating.
You're absolutely right. That's one part of it. Another part, which I love, is I love to learn from other people. Right? If we're playing a game like, say, Barrage, like I love the game, but I'm like, oh, that's, what, next time game I play, I'm going to try that. So I like to see what people are doing also to learn and stuff. And like, like Ganchon Clever or Welcome To, you have no idea what people are, I don't know. Just
that doesn't happen in Ganchon though. It's only one player at a time in Ganchon, and you know exactly what everybody's doing.
No, you don't. You don't know what somebody's marking off on their paper.
I feel like you should be able to. Like, I feel like you should be able to, like, demonstrate. Otherwise, it would be.
Are you
social distancing rolling rights,
I think when it comes down to, I think the one game that I think of that kind of has that element, although it's not, you're not doing it separately, you're doing it at the same time, but you're not paying attention. For me, was Pendulum, and I think that was the one negative. I enjoyed the game, I enjoyed the experience, but I think the one negative is about that is because the things are going so fast, and while it's not a super fast, timed game, real-time game, it takes, you have the 30-second timer, the 2-minute timer. I think you accidentally, what Tim was talking about, you accidentally might make a mistake that you don't pick up on the entire game, and you wind up winning. You're like, oh, I didn't even realize I made that mistake, 30 turns ago. But that's one thing, and I do see that, but I do love me some roll and writes. That's one thing that I got into, especially with the social distancing, was the roll and writes. And yes, Tim, I love Welcome To.
It's a good game. It's just me. I just
that
want
one
to
is also on Board Game Arena now.
That's right.
Yes. Excited about
that. So Paul likes Roman Roll here. Tommy mentioned a couple games.
Oh, King of Tokyo Dark, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
And James likes Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And then I got something for Emerson here. Emerson, you need to talk about this.
Yeah. So
what is your game, Crossfire?
It's one of Ruel's favorite. It's a social deduction game, but it's the one that plays in 3 minutes, and it's one that I showed Crystal when it was a prototype, and we actually wrote it on guest checks because the game itself is only 21 cards altogether, but you can play with just 7 cards. So it's one that we just busted out, and it's from Planet. It came out in 2018, I believe.
We played it the first time I ever met Emerson, and Roy, who is in the chat, I've told this story 100 times now, but so Roy knew that I did not like Century Spice Road. Like, that game is just not my jam. And so literally I walk up and Roy introduces Emerson and I, and he's like, oh, Emerson. He's like, Crystal, what do you think about Century Spice Road? I was like, I really love Spectre Ops. I was like, dear God. Of course, Emerson is the most kind human on the planet and knew that Roy was messing with me and didn't care. But I was just like, oh my God.
But here's one thing I do have to say. You don't have to tell us the number, Emerson. But I know you get a pretty big check around Christmas because I sell a lot of Century games.
Yes, I do. Yeah, Century does very well for me.
Yes, I can imagine.
Ruel, I had a question for you real quick.
Yeah, Jeff.
You mentioned how much you enjoy Rap Gods. Now, my question is, when you play the game, do you play it almost like an RPG where you're role playing your character?
Absolutely.
It is so good that way. Every time you play, I don't know, when I play a card, like I embody the character, and it makes it so much fun.
I love that.
To be fair, Ruel mentioned that he loves every game that came out this year.
Yeah. Don't trust what I say.
They're all good games.
Well, that's because he's played everyone. He's streaming 6 out of, or sometimes 7 days a week.
Yeah, and I try to play something different every day too. Let me see what else is on my list. Have y'all ever played? Well, Title Blades I enjoyed as well, but. Going back to Rap Gods real quick, Jazz, for whatever reason, it's just the way it sets itself up, it really does lend itself to role-playing. And me and Michelle, my wife, and our daughter Lauren, we just, we got into the characters and stuff. And I've had this, my fake rap name for many, many years. It's called, I'm known as Grandmaster Pants. And so I would play my character as Grandmaster Pants. And we, that's what I would do. So yeah, it's a wonderful game. Love the theme.
This begs the question: what is everybody's secret rap name that they've been harboring for years and haven't told
anyone? That's a great question, Chris. I think you should start, man.
I go by Elemento, just the 4 letters. Elemento.
Elemento. Nice. Anyone else have a fake rap name?
Oh man, come on. I know everyone does.
No. I don't have one. I don't think I've ever even stopped to consider what it would be. Yeah. I need one of those, to create your rap name, you're going to need to take the first letter of this and then your first pen and then your first something like that.
There you go.
You know what else came out this year, technically, is the new printing of Strike.
Oh, really? Is that this year?
No, I'm pretty sure I'm aware.
There's none left out there.
Crystal, way to get out of sharing your Raptor name.
Consider this an informal announcement. It's kind of already out there, but Ravensburger is hosting an online Strike tournament for a whole bunch of content creators, and I'm part of that, and it's happening on December 19th. And there may have been some shipping mistakes, but they're the best kind of mistakes because I now have 6 copies of one of my
almost one for each day of the week.
There you go.
As soon as the pandemic's over, I'm hosting my own dang Strike tournament.
Absolutely.
But yeah, so Rodney Smith, Rolling Dice and Taking Names, Paula Deming, Chaz Marler, me and Ambi, a whole bunch of people, Board Game Gumbo, Drive-Thru Reviews, tons of people are part of this thing on the 19th. It's at, I want to say 3 p.m. Pacific. So I'm not quite sure that we're going to practice before the event, but I'm not sure how we're doing it remotely, but we are. So
there's a shortage now of the game out there.
Yeah. I thought Crystal was now a distributor. I don't know. I think
DJ Crystal.
There's your rap name, DJ Crystal Strike.
The one that I've had the longest is beat up. The box is in bad shape because I've taken this to every convention, and now I have so many nice new copies.
10 years worth.
Yeah.
I had never played that game until earlier this year when I got my copy, and it's amazing. Let me throw it on. I forgot to put it on my list, but it's one of my favorite games this year.
Oh gosh!
Oh, go ahead, Chris.
I've never played 6 copies of it, so I mean, I got to catch up with Crystal.
That's a new experience. Yeah.
I don't know if you can get it in Australia.
Your list would be shorter of the games you don't like.
Right, exactly.
Well, we won't be able to get it now, Amy, because Crystal has all the copies anyway. So
that were the Australian copies. Yeah.
6 Australian copies.
Yeah, you can't get it here. I'm gonna have to hit up Crystal.
Everybody, as soon as the pandemic is over, you are all welcome over to my house.
Awesome.
Okay.
Do what? Oh, I am. I'm near Windmill and Eastern.
Oh, okay. You're not that far.
Yeah. It's so close to the 215, which is wonderful.
We're so close to each other.
I know. We're so close and yet so far away.
When you're on Eastern, I'm like, oh my god. I'm like Silverado Ranch on Eastern.
No, my old house was Silverado Ranch in Bermuda. So we were literally like a stone's throw away from each other before I moved.
Basically.
Well, Tim, I believe you may have told us before the stream that at 7:30 something was going to happen.
No, not happen. I was going to make an announcement because I wanted to talk about it. I think this is really exciting. So you guys know why I've been doing this, right? I'm trying to get more diversity, make some more different faces, see all that kind of stuff. Uh-oh, is that me? With the feedback, it's coming back again.
It was you all along.
Mute your mic.
Like Scooby-Doo, like just get the mask out. It's like,
Yeah,
it was Tim.
Yeah, if everybody could just mute their mic for a quick second. Let me see. All right. Can you guys still hear me? Oh, you can. Okay, good. Yeah. Okay, it's gone, the feedback. Oh, maybe it wasn't. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, I've been doing this to try to get us all, just get more faces on there. We've got a gay couple, Maggie and Amy. We've got women, Crystal, Estefania. We got people of color, me, Jazz, Emerson, Ruel, Chris, Dwayne, everybody else. So just to get different looking faces on the screen in the board gaming community. So starting in January, this show will be on Board Game Geek. So we will actually be, on the front page of Board Game Geek. Unfortunately, though, we had to switch nights because Thursday night they do a game night or something like that. So we'll have to do it on Wednesday nights. And maybe we can switch later. But for now, it has to be Wednesday nights at the same time. But I just wanted to let you guys know, because some of the things I want to talk about, we can all turn our mics back on, is because, all of you, I still want to be involved, maybe even more people. But I want to talk about maybe names and themes and ideas. And not only that, Aldi and the rest of his team is really committed to making sure we get diversity and people of color and people of different gender, sexuality, and all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to be part of that, helping them with that. And we're just going to have a much greater visibility and look and stuff on BGG. So I just want all of your input and all of you to help, and you're all going to be part of it and all that kind of stuff. And we want to get more people to be part of it too. However, what that also does now is it makes it incumbent on us to make sure that we are putting out good quality content, and we are putting out consistent content too, whatever we're doing, even if it's not content. Like Estefania, makes games and stuff. Your games, we'll get those up there and different kind of things. So whatever it is that you guys do, we now have a good platform to make sure we get more visibility, we're seen, and I think it's just going to help for everybody. So yeah, just open it up and start talking out, give me ideas, suggestions, and what we can do.
That's awesome. Congratulations for getting that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Getting recognized like that. That's awesome.
Yeah,
I got all the feels. I got goosebumps when you were talking about it. It's so amazing.
Yeah, even tonight, we got up to I think 34 viewers, which is awesome. I mean, again, like people like me, right? You got a little channel, you get 30 people watch your videos. Like, wow, that's fantastic. And get 30 people. But being on Board Game Geek, that literally opens it up to what they got 2 million people. Not that they're all going to watch, but the audience will be greater. So it'll be really good for all of us to really just spread our content, see our faces, and all that kind of stuff. So I think
that's exciting.
Yep.
So
Representation matters. Representation matters.
Including all of us
Absolutely.
too. Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll be giving you guys emails more and more about it. Because I know some people can't make it. Hopefully some people can make it once a month or whatever, certain times, maybe can't make it every week. But it'd definitely be nice to make sure that people are there occasionally, if you can. You know what I mean? To make a spot to get in there and do that. But yeah, I would like a submission on names, and ideas and anything. And we can talk about anything.
I think that's fantastic news, Tim. So again, thank you for doing this, and congratulations. I mean, this is awesome.
Thanks, yeah.
This is fantastic. And just personally knowing that I've done, I think Crystal, you have too, streamed via BGG on their homepage and through our Twitch channels. I mean, the spike in numbers is huge whenever I'm on BGG. You go from you could have 20, 30, 40 viewers up to 200, 225. It's a big spike when you're on BGG. So this is gonna be a much bigger audience when we go live there. So this is great.
It will be. Like I said, it's really good because it just will give us all visibility. More people too, because the thing about it is there's a lot of people who just don't get that opportunity to get seen, right, or get their content noticed. Because people like Oscar, who's with us a lot, right? I mean, he does his videos in Spanish. A lot of people don't even know he's there. So it'd be nice, for him to get visibility, to be seen, because there could be a lot of people who Spanish, like Estefania, is their first language. So they may be, wow, there's a guy who does Spanish. I'll watch that, So it would be good for all of us.
I think it's just the reason why we started our channel in particular was so that new gamers or young gamers can hit BGG and kind of see people that look like them or, in a gay relationship like us and just have that normalization happen. And, we've had conversations with LD a lot about, getting rainbow BGGs on the front page, which they've done now with the new homepage, and just stuff little things like that. And just, I'm so it makes me actually quite emotional, Tim, to have you championing this and working with LD and doing that for all of the people out there that feel underrepresented. It's just so amazing.
Yeah, well, thank you.
Every little bit matters. It's true.
I really appreciate everything you're doing, Tim. I really do. This is fun.
Yeah, thank you all for helping me and supporting me, because again, we would watch with 3 people again, watching us and stuff like that. So it's nice to know that we'll be being exposed to a greater audience. And again, I just want to give all the thanks to Aldi and the team at BGG. They're really helping me learn the programs and all that kind of stuff. And he's just really, really wants this to be done. And, when you think about it, that is the platform. It's not the number one platform. It's the platform, right, for board games.
Right.
Period. End of story.
Exactly.
So, for it to be on there, I think is fantastic. So.
Absolutely, this is exciting.
Well, Tim, remember us little people who are moving to Florida, because that's fantastic.
Nicely done, Chris. Nicely done.
Yeah, so I'll definitely be contacting you, all of you, and emailing you and all that kind of stuff. So, because I'd like to, schedule things, have topics, all that kind of stuff, and just make sure special guests, if there's anybody you'd like to see on or have on, I'll try to contact people. But just really try to make it something special. We've got this great opportunity, so we just got to try to do the best with it that we can.
So Tim, moving forward, then are you going to keep this format where you invite a bunch of content creators or people that are in the gaming industry and just hang out for 2 hours and talk, or do you have any other plans? So you're going to change the structure of it all or anything, or?
Again, Ruel, like I said, I'm open to ideas because again, like I said, I really appreciate all of you first of all for helping me, because I wouldn't have been able to get to this point without your help coming here doing this, right? None of us are making money, getting paid, doing any of this kind of stuff. You all did it because I asked you, but you were here to support and help, and you've all made this happen to come. Again, I just want to put out the best thing that's good for everybody. Because there's 9 of us here tonight, and 10 including me. But I probably send my email to 20 or 30 people. Right. So I'd like to send it to maybe 50, 60 people, and then, schedule occasionally to make sure everybody gets a shot, to be on now and then. And also I'll be helping them with putting up videos and different things on the site. So with that being said, whenever you do videos and stuff, make sure you see your face. All right. Because the thing about it is the thing, because when you're scrolling BGG, the point is to see people right? To like, because there's just a lot of stuff to get through, and even if you're just scrolling, you'd be like, oh, there's a black face, he looks like me. There's an Asian face, he looks like me. There's a woman, she looks like me, or whatever. Just so people can see, more people. Because if you think about it, like this is some of the conversations all the I've been having, right, on their feature pages. And again, it's one of those kind of things where those guys are fantastic. They're the best at what they do, right? You got Rado, you got Rodney, you got Tom. They're great. I mean, they're the best in the industry, but they're all white guys. They look like one type of person. And occasionally you'll get Nikki in there, right, with Lincoln and Nikki. So there's like occasionally you get a woman with the featured videos, right? So it's just a way to just make sure there are more different looks, more different people with everything. And again, it doesn't have to be just videos, because there's other parts where there's content, like creator pages and different kind of things. So we can be put up in all different spots in different areas. So I would like your help and your input and your suggestions to give me those people so we can all meet them, know them, and make sure that they're all getting exposure, because that's what we all need to, work on together with this. Yeah, like Tom said.
I can't wait to get started.
There are so many good content creators, and we just got to get to know them and let them be seen.
Yeah, I'm there.
Yeah.
I'm there all the time.
Yeah.
Because I enjoy meeting all you guys. You guys are fun. When I first came here, I came for the free nachos. But
Did I miss those? How did I miss nachos?
Yeah, I didn't get nachos. I want nachos.
They're in the mail.
Where am I?
Just Jazz, the thing is you have to bring your own
Yeah,
nachos.
I figured that out
They're still
now.
free.
I want nachos.
But it's all behind me now. I love talking to you guys. You guys are fun to hang out with.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree.
And Dwayne, yeah, and that's what I mean. Like Dwayne, you've been real consistent. Putting out video. I've had just a bad couple weeks, like I'm sure everybody has, right? I mean, like I don't know what it is, but like I was my breaking point. I mean,
I understand completely.
Yeah, and I'm going to tell you. I mean, I'll just be honest. If this news wasn't about if the news of the vaccine hadn't come out, I just don't know how much longer, I could have been holding on or just whatever, because it's just been dark for everybody, right? It's just really, just,
It's been rough. Yeah, there's not a person that I talk to that isn't going through something.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
I would agree, definitely.
Well, Tim, I'll say here, if there's anything I can do moving forward, you just let me know. You have my email, and any way I can support you, I am there, my friend. Just let me know.
Oh
Yeah,
no, absolutely.
For sure.
Absolutely. All of you. Like I said, we're going to make sure, because again, you guys have been here since the beginning, so you will all definitely, be at the top of my list and everything. And I'm going to try to do it, as much as possible to cycle through people through there. But I just want to get as many faces seen, because here, if you look at a lot of shows and a lot of things that people do, you do see a lot of the sameness still. And I just want to get to a point. Oh, sorry, Mittens, you can hear her back there.
She's very opinionated. She wants more cats. More cats.
Is I don't ever want people to see, like for example, when that whole Black Lives Matter, happened, that stuff. There was a lot of talk where people all went to, like, say, Eric Lang, right? Because it's like they know one black person, and my whole kind of goal is to not to have that happen again. Like, and like Elizabeth Hargrave, it was fantastic what she did. She made that whole page of black voices, of female voices. I mean, there's so many women. She put them in different, geographic categories, like women in the West, women in the North, women over here, whatever. And it's like, you look at that, you're like, wow, I didn't know there were that many, because they just didn't have the representation. So there should never be a point where anybody says, oh, I just didn't know that many black content creators. I didn't know that many women. I didn't know that many Asians. No, you're going to know them. You're going to see these people. So
That's right. That's 100%.
Yeah, I think it's awesome. I know for me, it's been, I think for me, always has been, I've always wanted to do this for quite some time. And even like back when I was starting, I was nervous. I was just afraid to put myself out there. And I think I was afraid like Tim was saying, like, you don't see people like you, although you have people that have like influence what you want to do. Like, like Tom Vassell, Rodney, Dan over at Game Boy Geek, like those people that you watch and you see their videos, and then you start trickling to you're like, oh, there's other content creators out there, and these are, white content creators. Like, oh, I still never saw them. But one thing you never seen is people that look like you. And, when I've always wanted to do it. And honestly, before doing it, I never thought about people looking like me. I just like, oh, there's just not people doing what I want to do. But the opportunity for this meet, if it wasn't for Tim doing this meetup, I wouldn't have met any of you guys. And being able to message you on the side after this and during the week to talk about games, and Amy and Maggie, and Amy especially, gives into my crack addiction with board games. And
we would like enable each other. I think it's very bad for each other.
We do enable each other because I'm talking to her. Have you seen this? And she's like, no, I haven't. I think I'm going to order it right now. And it's back and forth. But I think it's awesome because not only are we getting not our faces out there, but it's the opportunity to see, no matter how big or how small our channels get, it's the opportunity to have people that are supportive of each other. And that's one thing I appreciate from all of you guys, is having people that are very supportive, of one another, no matter how big your channel is getting or, how small it is. To be able to bounce ideas back off of each other and how to get things up and running. And, I really do appreciate that from each and every one of you. And I enjoy seeing all your content, even though I don't get to maybe get the time to see all of the videos. Trust me, I see them all and I'm like, oh man, this is interesting. I would love that. I didn't even think of it from that point of view, and that's awesome. And like, every time I watch one of Dwayne's videos, man, I'm cracking up all the time.
Dwayne, you have the best theme song ever. Maggie and I sing it around our house all the time.
All the time.
Yes.
We're like pointing at each other.
Don't want to complicate you.
Yeah, I love that song. I was like, wow, this actually fits what I'm trying to do. And, I love it. So I'm glad you guys enjoy the content. I'm trying to be consistent. I'm trying, me and my wife, we've been married 27 years. And it's like sometimes our banter reflects that. Like, how do y'all talk like that to each other? It's 27 years. That,
Been a while.
We know how to handle each other, and she's a sweetheart, and she's enjoying it. We did the favorite game Friday, favorite game of 2020, and she told me what hers were. I was like, wow, I didn't expect that, So it is, and she knows I look forward to this every time. Every time Tim emails me, I'm like, oh man, I can't wait. And it's like Tuesday. I'm sitting there like, man, just to see you guys. And I mean, to see when I meet you guys, I'm like, wow, especially you, Ruel. When you first joined in, my eyes were, oh my gosh, it's him. Like, I thought I saw Michael Jackson or something. I don't know.
Hey, it's James Brown, Dwayne. James Brown.
I found out now, like, wrong star. And now Emerson, like, whoa, like, oh my gosh, I got Century Spice roll upstairs. I'm sitting there like, oh, wait, he can't sign it on Zoom. You can't sign it on screen. No.
And Dwayne, just so you know, so Emerson was with us at Dice Tower West this past year, and hopefully he'll be able to join us in 22. I'll talk to him about that later. But and I'm not just saying that because he's here, but he really is one of the genuinely nicest, kindest people you will ever meet. And when he was at the convention, he makes sure that he plays games with people. He looks at their prototypes. He listens to their pitches. I mean, he works hard, and he was just like a guest. He's supposed to be there as like a celebrity, but Emerson is just a really great person. So if you can make it to Dice Tower West and Emerson is there, you will see exactly what I'm talking about. So,
I'm coming to Dice Tower West because my daughter lives in Vegas, so I got somewhere to live.
Perfect. That was incredibly good.
Can't wait.
Yeah, like I said,
yeah. Even if Mariah's not there, we're there. We're coming.
All right.
We'll all be here, guys. Jeff,
I think that the general connectedness of everyone here is one of my favorite things. Like I look forward to these all the time. They're very fun chats. Even earlier today, I was I'm tired. I'm not sure if I'm up for it. But 2 minutes into it, yeah, we're having fun. We're making fun of Ruel for listing 1,000 games. It's and for me, like on our podcast, we had Amy and Maggie on this last month, and Jazz. Jazz reached out to me about working with him and collaborating, with each other. Dwayne, I want to have you on our show at some point. Emerson, when I'm in New York City, I want to crash on your couch. That's cool. Thanks for offering.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But I think that's what's so great about this. And so as going into next year, as we pull, we say, oh, I recommend this one person, and that person kind of becomes, gets a lot more strength and connections because it's a very social world. Whether we want to, deduction in it or not, it's a very social world, and those connections mean a lot. So I think that's my favorite part of what I'm going to look forward to, Tim, for next year is being able to bring in someone new, and all of a sudden they really hit it off with Dwayne, or they hit it off with Jazz, they hit it off with Amy and Maggie or something. So that's
yeah, absolutely. And like, for example, now, because I had connections with, like, say, the Dice Tower, but like Dwayne knows you now, and now he's got a direct connection to the Dice Tower. Same thing with Jazz, people who may not have known those other guys. So it's, look, one of us made the big time.
I think to piggyback off what Chris was saying, it's important not just in like representation in board games in general is really important, but in content creation, I think even more so, because the content creators are the visible faces of our hobby. And I would say 5 to 6 years ago, the content creators who were visible, to Tim's point earlier, all looked exactly the same. Yes. Like over the past 5 years, the amount of content creators who don't fit into that one mold have increased exponentially. And as a result of that, I believe that the type and the quality of the content being put out about board games has improved dramatically. And that's not to say the people making content prior to 5 years ago were doing it badly. But I think to some degree, even people that I love, like Tom with the Dice Tower and other people like that, like they didn't feel the need to innovate as much because there was no competition really. Like everybody was kind of just doing their thing, and it was good content. It was great. But like, I think truthfully, people like Tom with the Dice Tower, and since I work with them, I feel comfortable calling them out specifically, I think have done a really good job of innovating over the past 5 years as a result of people that don't look like them coming into the space and then realizing we can't coast forever. And again, I sound like I'm criticizing Tom. I'm really not. Like, Tom makes amazing content and works really, really hard. But like, I think he's taken on new challenges and done new things, maybe even subconsciously because of all of the other things that have come about. So I think it's really important for that visibility to happen, and for us to not ever get too comfortable even in our little groups here, because there will continue to be new content creators who will pop up, and it can be really scary and daunting to first break into content creation. And I think it'll be a really neat thing for us to be able to try and support new creators as well. And I think this group is a really good example of how that can happen and should happen going forward.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, very well said.
It's a really good it's a really good point, because again, that's some of the conversations I was having with the people at Board Game Geek. Because like, if you look at the hot videos or whatever, or the popular videos, whatever section it was, just by default, it's going to be Rodney, Rado, Tom. And the thing about it is, even though they all look alike, they're all fantastic. I mean, their content is great, and there's a reason they're most popular and they're hot. But we still need an opportunity. There's no reason one of us can't just be stuck in there every now and then just to give a different look. Yes, we don't have the numbers. We may not have the quality. We may not have the equipment that they do. But for our level, we do have the quality, and we need that break. So every once in a while, just stick one or two of us in there, because they're just always going to be at those top spots, right? Because that's their full-time job. They're the best in the world at it.
And I think it's a good cycle as well, because the more variety there are in creators, the more other people, the more like variety you attract to the hobby, and then the more potential creators are like, hey, I love this hobby as well, and there's people like me being a creator, therefore I'll jump in and try my hand at creating content. So it's a good cycle that to then grow the hobby, which is what we all, at the end of the day, that's our agenda. Get more people into the hobby anyways.
Yeah, so the more we bring other people up, the higher we all go. It's not just one or two. We all embrace each other in the community. I know I felt embraced in the past year or two. So it really is important just to help each other out with whatever we can, through social media, through content creation, and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. It all really helps at the end, because like you said, Crystal, 5 years ago this wasn't like that, and this wasn't born one day. It was slowly but surely, newer people and bringing other people in, and now there's so many new faces out there, but in the sea of thousands and millions. But I think at the end it all matters. It really does.
Yeah. Yep, absolutely. So sorry, guys. So we only have a few minutes left. So what I want to do is I want to make sure we go through everybody and do like we usually do. Make sure you tell everybody about your channel, where they can find you, and what they can maybe see that you got coming up next. And we'll go ahead and start with Dwayne.
Okay, hi, Dwayne. Don't want to complicate you. From Blackboard Gaming. We talk about board games, introducing them to my wife. Our next video is probably going to be talking about how viticulture is thematic, what components in the art, immerses you into the theme of the game. Another thing that I'm thinking about doing is I've always been, my wife likes co-op games. So I want to kind of do I don't know if it's going to be called Co-op Corner. That's just work title and working, but just a video that highlights cooperative games, from Spirit Island to Marvel Champions to Atlantis Rising. There's so many great cooperative games out there, and a lot of people aren't really that really competitive, but they enjoy activity where they're working together. So that's what I'm doing.
All right, sounds good. And you, Chris?
So we are, for our podcast, we're going to be doing, a couple of wrap-up episodes for the year, of course, best of 2019, because we decided we just don't play enough 2020 games. So we're doing the best of the year for the previous year. We've been doing this for a few years. It worked out really well. And then we're also going to be doing something that the Brothers Murph started, and then Crystal and Ambi did, is the best, was it 1 in 100?
Which doesn't really tell you anything, but it's the only name that I can come up with for it.
So you scroll through each 100 listings on a Board Game Geek page, the top 100, then the top 200, the top 300, and you pick one game, your one favorite out of each of those lists. And it's not particularly useful, but it's a fun activity. So that'll be one of our episodes. That'll be our last episode before we go into a short hiatus, because moving across the country, we don't want to record podcasts. So January is going to be a dark month for us, but then we'll be picking back up in February, which will be our 4-year anniversary of the show.
Aww.
Nice. Oh, wow.
Nice.
Right on time.
And again, Chris, congratulations with the new job. We're so proud and excited.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Amazing.
Yep. So real quick before Ruel, I just want to so right here, Tommy says we need OFPG on here. Well, just so you know, they do get the email every week. And I actually started this conversation with them a long time ago, but they got so big or busy they weren't able to. And then the same thing with Monique and Naveen. They've been in the email. I've been inviting them also. But they haven't been able. So hopefully now, maybe if we got a little bit more exposure with Board Game Geek, more of these different people may be able to come in, and maybe once a month or something. But we just really, and again, if you know them, please try to just encourage. When I send out emails and try to make schedules, at least once a month, once every 2 months or something, because again, it's just about the visual, right? We need to get a whole bunch of variety out there. So please try to encourage them to be part of this. All right, go ahead, Ruel.
Okay. What are we doing right now? Are we signing off? Sorry.
Yeah, just let everybody know, where they can find you, where they can see you, and what you got coming up, or something like that.
Gotcha. Okay.
What are your 20 favorite games of 2024? Yeah.
the other 20 games, right?
The other 20. Friends, my name is Ruel Gaviola. You can find me on the internet at Ruel Gaviola everywhere. I write, podcast, do live streams. A lot of the stuff I'm doing now, it's I want to shout out the board game Twitch community. Twitch has been fantastic for me and my family and friends this year. We have had so much fun there. I love the community there. And, there's different ways you can live stream, but for us, Twitch has been wonderful. So please join me over there. As far as projects I've got coming up, there's a bunch of stuff under wraps that I've got happening. But I do want to say that I love all the games, and I want to thank you all again for having me on here, especially you, Tim. And this is fun. That's it. I'll shut up now.
Real quick, I just want to say, first of all, Daryl made this comment. And thank you, everybody in the chat. I'm sorry we don't have a moderator, and I've been trying to do my best to get comments out there. But thank you. I'm glad you feel that way, Daryl. And thank you, everybody in the chat, for watching us and being so open and loving and supportive. We really appreciate it. Emerson, yes, what do you got coming up?
Oh, actually, no, I'm to the chagrin of the publishers I work with. I'm actually going to forgo plugging things and actually just mention something that I've also mentioned on other podcasts where like designers like Estefania and myself, we owe a big debt of gratitude to like the content creators, because you guys are growing the community. And without that community, there would be such a high demand for games out there. And it's something that I feel strongly that it's really the content creators that are really growing and making the board game industry explode, is because you guys are out there sending the message. You are evangelizing this hobby and bringing people into the fold and having them enjoy this, all the games. So Estefania and I, we're incredibly, I'm sure I don't want to be speaking to you, but speaking for you, but yeah.
Yeah,
Well, you're the nicest person.
Right.
So I want to say thank you to all the content creators, and thank you, Tim, for really organizing this and getting the message out there, and all the work that you guys do. Thank you.
Yes, and thank you for joining us, Emerson. It's fantastic having you here. It really is. All right, Jazz, how about you?
Yeah, again, I'm Jazz over at the Lobby of Hobbies. We do a podcast primarily, but we're transitioning again into some YouTube content right now. We're trying to hit that 100 viewership mark. So I'm actually going to be doing a giveaway. So we're going to be giving away, I have some review copies of Railroad Rivals and Raccoon Tycoon that I recently reviewed. I did some write-ups on those. I'm going to be giving away my copies because I got the deluxe copies now of them. Great games for definitely to get people interested. But you can find us on Twitter, Instagram, and on Facebook at Lobby of Hobbies. And we're just trying to put out the best content we can and just have some fun. Honestly, just do what we love to do. And that's just get people immersed in the hobbies that they enjoy. Primarily I push board games heavily. So that's what it is.
Fantastic. All right. Well, thank you so much, Jazz. Let me see. Let's go. Amy, you guys can go back and forth. You can do however you want, but we'll let both of you go.
I'll let Amy go.
Yeah, cool. We have a YouTube channel, and that is all that we do is our YouTube channel. Leave the streaming to the experts, but we do board game reviews from two different perspectives. I'm the thinker all about mechanics, and Maggie is the dreamer, storyteller, solo player of my life that loves themes. So we kind of disagree a lot, but we try to bring that together into a cohesive review. And yeah, we're just going to keep doing what we've been doing. We've only been at this for 3 months, and the amount of support we've had, and largely thank you to you, Tim, for allowing us to meet people and just create this community and put ourselves out there has just been absolutely incredible. You created a community for us in Vegas, so thank you very much.
Oh, absolutely. And you guys you're bringing it. You are bringing it. I mean, you're putting out some fantastic comment, and thank you for doing that. I mean, all you guys are putting out some really good stuff, so it's fantastic. And that ThinkerThemer thing is just really kind of unique. It's really good that you have that relation. Well, you have an actual real relationship, but like that relationship with the games too. I mean, and it shows through your videos, so it's really fantastic.
We're really honed in on what we don't agree on.
Let's channel that into something positive. Hey, how about we start a YouTube channel about it?
There you go. What do you got coming up, Crystal?
Well, I'm still in all of the usual places, so you can find me in your podcast provider of choice, Board Game Blitz. You can also find me on the Dice Tower, a Dice Tower Tonight, which is every other Wednesday. So I will only be able to join the new stream time for this show on weeks where I don't have Dice Tower Tonight. But you can also find me at twitch.tv/boardgameblitz, where I stream a lot. And I would like to say, Amy said that they don't do the whole streaming thing, but I know for a fact that that is not entirely true, because this Saturday, Amy, Maggie, and I are going to be on Amanda Panda's stream on Twitch playing Crew together.
Yeah.
So
we only
you
joined
can-
the professionals. Like we just
joined
ride on the coattails. Yeah.
Yes, that is twitch.tv/PandaAngel, which, since Amanda's the one putting the links in chat for everybody right now, I'm assuming she'll get her own right. I don't have to spell it. It'll be in the chat. But yeah, we're going to be playing the Crew together on Saturday, which I'm really looking forward to, because it'll be the first game that I get to play with Maggie and Amy.
And we've never played it before. Excited.
Yeah, we've never
Oh my
played it.
gosh, I'm so excited then.
Very good. All right. And Estefania?
So again, my name is Estefania Rodriguez. I am a game designer. If you want to find me on Twitter, you can go at Estefania R88, because I did that years ago and it was way too long. But if you want to find me online too, I do, like I mentioned before, I'm part of a couple of playtesting groups online that meet up basically every Wednesday. And then that one's the Seattle Tabletop Game Designers. And then the second one's called Break My Game. They have tons of different schedules for playtesting that accommodate people all around the world, really. So it's a very cool group to be part of, both of them. I've learned a lot from them and met a lot of cool designers, up and coming, and veterans. So it's a great place. And if you don't want to play your game there, hit me up and we'll get it signed in. And then the last thing, I guess, is that again, I'm working on my first game called PopCats Fighter that will launch next year. If you want to find anything online about it, we have Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, and it's just PopCats Fighter all together.
Great, thank you.
It's a card fighting game.
All right. First thing I want to mention the phrase of the evening came from Maggie. I thought this is fantastic. Give that woman a theme.
That's a good one.
Nice.
I just like that. I wrote that down earlier. That just sounds so cool. Give that woman
My only prayer is to give people a theme.
You can have mine.
I'll take yours.
So January 6th will be the first Wednesday, and it'll be every Wednesday from then on. And again, I'll be emailing you further, giving you information about all that, scheduling it, and all that kind of stuff. And again, remember, one of the most important things, if you're doing videos and stuff, and I think most of you do it anyway, please just make sure it's your face and people can see you and stuff like that, so we can make sure that you get your thumbnail up there and people have visual things like that for more exposure. Again, whether it's written, whether like Estefania, if it's just a game or something, even if you're trying to promote something in your game or you're writing an article, please put your face, okay, so people can see. And then on my channel, I got some more interviews coming up. I was a little under the weather, I guess you could say, or in a little dark place there for a while. But hopefully, I'll be coming out and doing a little bit more interviews lately. I did one with Ruel recently, just a little short one, so trying to get back on the wagon or back on the horse, whatever you say with that. And other people like Estefania, I'm doing tomorrow, and I know Dwayne and Jazz. I got to get you guys, Amy and Maggie and Crystal, Chris. So just got to get that going again. But again, thank you all for being part of this. I really appreciate it. Thank you for all your help. Thank you everybody in the chat as well for watching us on the show tonight and being part of it. We had, like I said, like 34 people, I think was our biggest count, which was big, and people are coming and going. So, that's exciting. 34 people is huge.
And for the record, I don't know if everybody else, but like when you participate in these streams, make sure that you share the link in advance. I put the link in 2 different Discord channels that I am part of, and 2 different Slack channels that I am part of as well that are all board game related. So if you are part of online communities or messaging platforms where you know of a bunch of board gamers, make sure that you share that information out if you're going to be on stream, because your people want to see you. So they'll come, and a bunch of them are in the chat right now. So
yes, that's true. And remember, like I know Ruel especially, you know a lot of people, right? You have a lot of contact with people. You're doing a whole lot of stuff. Make sure you get their email to me or whatever. Like, make sure everybody, get these emails to me so I can get them on the list, get people notified. Because again, if I can send out, 100, 150 emails, whatever, and make sure everybody gets a chance, gets a shot, get through, and we can really, really, really try to build a community. So I think it'll be fantastic. But anyway, everybody have a wonderful holiday, a wonderful new year. 21 will be a lot better, right?
Start over. Starting over.
Be.
Oh, well.
There you go. Starting over. What's the theme going to be, Maggie? Come on, give that woman a theme. What's it?
Anything but 2020. Like, I will take any strike.
Strike.
Yeah. 2020. There we go. All right. Well, thank you guys. Have a wonderful holiday, great new year, and we'll see you next year.
Thank you.
Thanks very much, guys. Have a good one.
Bye, everyone.